The shadows in the cavern suddenly lengthen and swallow you. When your eyes adjust to the darkness, you find yourself in the midst of what must be another vision. You are surrounded by mists. The ground feels springy under your feet. You imagine that as long as you take a step, the soil behind you will erase all trace of your passage. As if on cue, the mists before you clear just enough for you to take a couple steps forward. You do, and the fog closes behind you. You continue for several minutes in this manner, one step at a time, never seeing more than the ground right in front of you. Eventually, rays of light cut through the haze, and you find yourself facing a canyon wall. Palgina's head violently snaps to one side, her eyes tracking some unseen threat. She puts her hand on the side of her face where two of her feathers have been cut short near the base. Tufts of down float in the air. Something whizzes past you. Just as you turn, you catch another whir of movement. Out of the mist flits a shape, small and round. You think you see another, and another. They tickle the corners of your vision. Come on. You turn back to the canyon wall. The sun shifts along its path, and what looked like a smooth rock face is the hollow of a cave. A figure steps out, its features shifting and changing before your eyes.
Can it? It has to be. Wow! But I never thought he'd reveal himself in person. This is incredible. Even his form is fickle and unknowable. Amazing.
The figure transformed from male to female, from Orlan to Amawa, its bones lengthening and its fur receding into its flesh. The only detail that remains constant is the smooth, eyeless face. The whizzing, rushing shapes from the mist converge on the figure, and as they form a spinning cloud, you realize that they are eyes.
You understand the value of a mystery watcher. A buried scroll, a hidden truth. These are my ways. You unravel a thread, Watcher. One you have lost and discovered over generations. And following it to its end has only brought you back to the beginning.
Speak plainly. And drain the meaning from the end you have almost achieved? Your search for answers to your past has led you to another mystery, and one grander still. My goal now is to see to the soul's Thaos is trapped. Yes, but what would you do with them?
A nebula of souls, blind and brimming with potential. The answer to Woodika's question and the beginning of yours. What would you do with them?
According to Hylia, it's possible to restore them to Hollowborn.
A song the world knows and tires of. The droning chorus repeated again and again. Better the improvised melody, the unfolding chant. The listeners sit rapt, and just when they think they have the tune, it changes again. Even the gods require fresh mysteries.
Do not consign the gods to the fate of some gods' choosing. You have found them. Now scatter them across existence, their destination known to neither god nor mortal. Let them be lost again, new answers to new riddles. What end would that serve?
No end, Watcher. That is the purpose.
Oh, so close. I think I had like 15 intellect or something. But what would happen to the souls?
None know. They could end up anywhere in the realms of gods or mortals, whole or divided. Discovering them again and charting their course through the ether will be a new mystery.
No thanks, farewell.
That is a word for endings, and this is but a crossroads. Even I do not know what you would choose.
So am I gonna meet like each god trying to tempt me into doing what they want now instead of what Hylia wants? Oh, another one. Take my souls! Is there gonna be another? Yeah, another encounter. No Drake this time. Oh! Pfft. Guess not. Let's do the good old double bugs. Actually, let's do a firebug instead. Double firebug! Holy shit balls! That is epic.
This thing isn't...
And you need to do that. Oh, steps into the wheel. Momentarily paralyzing. That sounds good to me.
You're not getting...
Kill it good. Oh, come on. It's just a Drake. But this one seems a lot bigger than the other one. Gotta say. But down it goes. And Alana should be coming back online. I'll take that. Where does this lead? That's probably where we want to go. So let's avoid that for the time being.
I'll take a look.
So we can explore the rest of this place. A lone segment of the bridge rises over the ruins of an ancient city. It looks stable enough, but the wide gaps leave little room for error. We'll jump it. Duran's fails. Ring of Overseeing and Spell Ward Amulets. Plus 10% ability area effect. That could be pretty good. Should I give that to you instead of Combusting Wounds? Or to you instead of any of these? No, I'll give it to you instead of that. And the amulet, was it? Spell Ward, was it that I got? Yeah. And we got a camping supply. Back we go, and Durance fails again. Oh, he's injured. We probably need to have a nap. Let's try to explore the rest of this place before we head into that door. I think that's gonna be where Thaos is gonna be around. Let's go down here. This path. And grab these. Why not? I don't think we're gonna meet any more vendors to sell them, but I'll take it. The true sign of any victory in a game is how much loot do you have at the end. Now you know. Bugs. Fire bugs. That spell though. That spell. I should probably do that instead of the insects, right? That is way more damage.
Laying low.
Are we done? Can I not get over here or over here? No, I guess not. So, get over here to the door. And we'll do a quick save and then we'll head into the court. Hopefully, Thaos is going to be there to get his ass kicked. Oh, and it looks like Deer has something to say.
Here I was, wondering all this time whether all these terrible things were people's fault or the gods. Turns out they might be the same thing. Great Sarens had been told their god was made in some forge or kiln someplace. Would we still have gone to war?
People were starving. They had rebelled sooner or later.
I don't know that they would have invaded. I don't know. Right. As brothers will.
What about?
My parents warned them. They said you get a new country with every trip across the border, but your god, you only get the one. All I knew was I didn't want him to go. It's the same for families as it is for gods. You only get the one. He changed his mind. He brushed it off. Just got me madder, of course, him being so calm. He said I should come with him, but he'd understand if I didn't want to. I told him he'd better be able to face his god one day and answer for what he'd done. He said he'd keep that in mind. And then, he was gone. One morning it dawns on me that my brother always knew better than me. If he was so sure of what he was doing, then I should be there with him. I packed my things and was on the road that same morning. course, what I didn't know then was he'd already changed his mind. By that time, he was dead on that field.
Do you think you went to Waidwen because of what you'd said to him?
In a place like Gilded Vale, you don't have a whole lot else to do other than think about things you don't want to think about.
Seems like the skip bug is still operational.
That's what he thought was right. But it seems I'm not meant to know.
So if you'd left with him, you'd have known why he changed his mind.
I don't know why I bothered thinking about it. It wasn't my gods. I don't know if it was right. But I couldn't abide what Waidwen was doing to his own. God or not. As Aothis, well, it hardly seems to matter after what we just heard. And all these questions I've been trying to figure out. I think I just miss my brother. Come on, then. I still owe you one.
Yup. Let's do a hard save before we go. Just in case. Oh, we got a pre-endgame autosave. That's pretty good. Let's go in. Thaos, I'm coming for ya. It's time, I think, for Thaos to meet his end. A scroll of defense, that might be handy. Let's slot that out to anyone who can cast it. We should probably get all of these to someone who can cast it. Restore light and minor endurance. Boiling spray, paralysis. Anyone who doesn't have anything, get something. Anyone else got something for me? You do. Potion of Bulwark against the elements. Anyone over here? Nope. So we gotta follow the path around here.
Are you ready to take the oath? To spread the word of the gods to the lost and heathen?
I am not, sir. What was that? Of unshackling, suppress affliction.
I am trusting you to remain loyal to the gods in this. Not you will have greater powers than me to answer to, but you will answer to me as well.
A broad belt of power. That's the same one we got earlier, right?
And ask this, were there any other choice?
This is a missionary, same as I was. Taught the wrong things as I was. Osionis. They have held off many would-be invaders.
You are ready to give a confession?
I'm ready to hear one from you.
Whew, it's time, guys. It's time! Thaos is gonna meet his end. I should probably swap that scroll out for a major endurance that I gave you. Maybe give you a good trap. Wait, why can I only use 3 at a time? I guess we'll do a chain lightning trap as well. And then we'll quick save. Whew. Hopefully it's not going to be a super tough fight. Well, let's go. Thaos? Where are you at? That is a big Engwiffen machine. You've come to a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. At the far end, a great pillar of adra pierces the floor from below like a ragged spike, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless steps. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they are all questions. At the base of the pillar stands Thaos, a look of concern on his face as he notes your approach. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all others, spinning madly in your mind, but you don't dare ask it yet. You need some admission from him first, some hint of the veracity of your suspicions.
You are far from your post, Inquisitor. What brings you here?
Was Iuvara telling the truth?
That woman sought only to destroy the foundations of peace and civility that my people sacrificed everything to build.
What is this place?
We are in a sanctum holy to Utica. There are others like it in service to the other gods. I come here often to pray for her counsel, and in this space I may be assured that she hears me.
What does the machine do?
It has many uses, but its purpose is to bring structure to the chaos that surrounds it.
All of these statues, who are they of? Well, they're your followers who you've sacrificed.
They are monuments to Utica's greatest servants among my people. I hope to join them myself one day, but my work is not yet complete.
Was the entire Inquisition based on a lie?
The Inquisition was based on the need to cut the flesh from a rotting wound.
You are shaking now, having lost all patience for tact. No more evasions. You have to know. Everything you believed. Everything you have done for the gods. Did you lie to me when you said the gods could end suffering? Thaos says nothing. Are there no gods?
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked? Something men can turn to in their darkest moments when their days seem only like bridges from one tragedy to the next. Our gods are all these things.
Are there no gods?
We are in a sacred place within earshot of the gods themselves. This is not the time. You've been through much these past few months.
I have a feeling this is where my old self is gonna die.
You will return home and you will rest. When you feel you have recovered, you may rejoin us at the trials. The Inquisition is far from over, and I will have need of you. There are many who continue to spread the lies of the apostate. The Inquisition will not end until we have pronounced judgment on all of them.
His eyes linger on you, and there is no mistaking the threat behind it. And your rage shrinks at the image of an iron wheel in your mind, monolithic and caked with the dried blood of thousands. You do not ask your question again. Hello, Thaos.
How did you find it?
I didn't. It was Lady Webb.
Another in a string of acts of petty defiance. For all her knowledge, she always preferred spite over reason.
She loved you, you know.
Then she should have obeyed. I ask one thing of all my followers. She was incapable. A waste of rare talent and intellect.
Her talent and intellect were too great for her to live as your servant.
What of your cohorts, then? They have followed you to their deaths. Is it loyalty that brings them here? Or is it, as my agents suggest, that they have no direction of their own? You worshipped Aethys, did you not?
Ape?
Eh? That's all you got for me?
Yet when your god needed you the most, you chose your country.
I'm like a god.
Then I should think your hometown gave you a hero's welcome when you returned.
For losing faith when it's the gods who are misbehaving.
The gods argue over how best to prevent Kith society from destroying itself. These disruptions would not be necessary were mortal instinct not so diseased. What of you, Orlan? My agents tell me you are far from home, both in distance and in years. Have your friends proven a worthy distraction from the pain of ostracism?
Ostracism? Is that the name for the groin rash your mother gave me? Don't fool yourself, old man. You know nothing about me.
Enlighten me, then. Is it Galawain you serve, or is it Wal?
I give both gods their due service, but I am servant to neither.
But such difficulty on the way. If you had only accepted that perhaps you were fit to serve neither god, Just as you were unfit to serve your tribe. You might have saved yourself the trouble.
My tribe was unfit to serve me. And yes, I'm not fit to serve any god. I need only serve myself. Can you claim that, Thaos? Are you your own master, or are you just Woodika's wet nurse?
I serve all people, better than they will ever know. Better to live a competent servant than an incompetent master.
Duran stares at Thaos with a beast snarl. Thaos watches him calmly.
You built a weapon that delivered exactly as promised.
I served my goddess as you did yours.
Yet the other builders were slain, 11 of a dozen. Why not you? Were you somehow different? Redeemable in your god's sight?
Whatever desire I had to be redeemed in her eyes was weakness, purged by the Watcher's sight.
Or was it merely that your goddess wanted you dead as well, and your delusions of importance prevented you from seeing the obvious?
A whore's beguiling charms, nothing more. But the spell's broke now, Thaos. The trial's over. I know friend from foe, and I've come here now to see a foe repaid.
You were able to destroy a god because another god wished it. Without her hand to guide you, you could not strike at a god any more than you could strike the sky. You are impotent, and not just from the pox. I understand your Duke's bells gave you a mission.
Their orders do not absolve me of my greater responsibility to the safety and well-being of the Republics. You might want to skip over that one, Thaos. Don't want to pick a fight you can't win.
Yet you disobeyed. Something you already have a reputation for. They will know, of course. If it had been for a worthy cause, they might have forgiven you. But I don't see them pursuing animancy after seeing what it's done here. They trusted you, and you disappointed, as you always have, and you will again be disowned.
The parents scold, but the children are safe. Whether animancy research continues in the Republics or not, they will survive. For now, that is enough. In any case, I wouldn't be so smug about my fate, Thaos. I imagine Woodika responds to disappointment much more severely than even my dukes.
You are far from home, dwarf.
He's trying to shatter
my
us.
Would send me a long way from Masuk. It was a challenge I was glad to undertake for my village.
A journey, then? It must be of some import to take you so far and to last so long.
This reminds me of, is it Neverwinter Nights 2? When in the end, the King of Shadows tries to lure people over to his side to fight against you. And if you haven't treated your people correctly, at least one will.
Anything worth doing comes at great cost.
So it was worth it, then, to tell a dying beast of things it neither understood nor had memory of. You are here because you are lost. The gods cannot reach everyone, I'm afraid. May you fare better in your next lives. I gather you have had your soul awakened. Why else would you shadow my footsteps like some stray mongrel? You think I have something to offer you, but our business was concluded long ago.
One of us is going to die in this room. You may as well admit you lied to me before that.
I answered your questions once. That your soul is not fit to accept the answers is of little concern to me. I lied to no one. Not to you, not to anyone. The gods are real. They are everything we need them to be, and the world is better for it.
You have lied to everyone. Yourself most of all.
I have no illusions about the costs involved. But what your brief lifespan obscures is that it is what must be done. The heart of this country has skipped a beat, nothing more. I have done far worse. I plunged the peaceful kingdom of Tolosis into civil war. I slew the monarch of Desantio, whose people never knew hardship under his rule, and replaced him with a cruel despot who brought them to ruin. When plague arrived at the great city of Arborensis, I saw to it that the cure did not. They piled their dead outside the city in heaps that rose above their walls.
Nothing could justify those atrocities.
That's where you are mistaken. There was a time, back when your soul was still a shapeless mist, when the world believed only in false gods. Thousands of them. Gods that told them to take slaves. Gods that told them to make war upon their neighbors and devour the slain. Gods that told them to burn their children alive and cover themselves in the ashes as a sign of their faith.
I mean, how does that kind of society survive? More than one generation?
But all that changed when they learned of the true gods. Our gods. All those misshapen, bestial instincts melted beneath the radiance of our God's majesty. You could see it in their eyes. That dull emptiness replaced with the glimmer of a kindled spark.
Teaching them there were no gods could have, I'm gonna say could have instead of would have, achieved the same purpose.
And replaced it with one far worse. Have you imagined this existence? The one the apostate would have created. We are not all so virtuous as she. Without our gods, the most wicked, the most tyrannical, they would take that power for themselves.
And the good would overtake them.
But more than that, it would be a hollow existence. All mysteries forever unanswered. All purposes constructed from meaninglessness. No endings to bring closure. Only a wheel, turning without mercy, grinding our spirits to dust.
You underestimate people.
For all my years, I have seen exactly what they are capable of. What the apostate asked was beyond any man. All I have seen, the millennia of experience. I will not be dissuaded from this course. This is the only way.
At least admit it. Admit to me that the gods are not true gods. I need to hear it from you.
You have not thought this through. There is no leaving this place for you. I allowed it once, but you have made it all too clear what a mistake my mercy was. With your soul and thousands of others, I will see this world purged of its suffering. Hear me, Woodica. Your servant calls for aid.
Oh, it's on. And what's happening?
Roach 10!
Oh snap. Those things are coming alive! Holy shit. Holy shit!